Mastering cold calling, advanced techniques. Here's today's agenda. The anatomy of a winning call, where calls fall apart and how to fix it. Some advanced techniques. There's two in here. They're kind of like dark psychology techniques. Objection handling and framework. Metrics that actually matter and not the bullshit ones. The cold calling framework. Opening, 3 to 5 seconds to earn attention. That's like the most important part of the call. Is the first 3 to 5 seconds. Permission, is this a bad time right now? The value statement, their problem and your solution, aka your pitch. The qualifying questions, so questions you ask afterwards, and then the next step / close. Here's a little role playing. This is my opening. This is basically exactly my script. The best thing to do is make your own script or test what works for you. I've heard some things with the good news, bad news, which has worked. I use that occasionally, but most of the time, this is the exact script I use. Potential client, or PC, he's this guy named Bob from ABC Detailing. So he says, hey, this is Bob from ABC Detailing. How can I help you? Me, hey Bob, this is River. How are you doing today? PC, I'm doing good. How are you? Me, I'm doing well. I was wondering if I could speak to the owner. Are you the owner? PC, yes I am. How can I help you? That's the opener. It was about 5 seconds. My voice is already dry. So all right. First thing, be enthusiastic. Always try to get to the owner or manager. Tonality matters more than words, and I stress this enough. Be enthusiastic. I'm currently reading a book called The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street guy. And the goal is really to just get 30 more seconds. The permission part. I'll be completely honest with you, Bob. This is a cold call. Is that all right? Make sure the pause. Silence is key. We'll talk a little bit more about that. All I need is 30 seconds. Sure, what is it? That's not always what they say. Sometimes they say no. And that's just a common objection that we'll get over later. Why this works, it gives you control and lowers resistance. It makes it so they trust you more because you're basically just telling them what's happening straight up instead of lying to their face. Value statement, aka the pitch. Me, I do marketing for businesses like yours, car detailing, PPF, CRM coding, all of the above. And I help you generate more leads through meta ads. On top of that, I make sure the leads are quality leads and actually turn into bookings. Is that something you might be interested in, Bob? So that's basically my exact script, what I use to call. Find what works on your own, test. A lot of people do questions. I don't exactly do that. I like being straight up with what I do, even though it might show some red flags with your client or the potential client. Make sure you say their name. I feel like that's an important psychology trick that works even in life, so not just cold calling. Saying a person's name makes them like you more. Make your own and test what works. Make your own pitch. Don't copy mine because it might not work for you. I just have found that that's what works for me. And then use metrics when possible. Where do calls die? Top failure points. Weak openers, triggers, auto rejection. So if your opener is weak or you don't gain the trust immediately, they're not going to become your client. They don't trust you. You need to gain trust. Talking features instead of problems. I kind of talk features in mind, but a lot of good pitches and most good pitches are saying stuff about your problems. Like what I found with most businesses like yours is that you guys get enough leads, but those leads don't can turn into bookings because you don't follow up quick enough. What I do is that I make sure those leads actually turn into bookings by following up with those leads and making sure that someone are talking to those leads immediately, not listening or qualifying. If you're just saying your pitch and not even regarding what the potential client is saying, then why are you even on the call? You are just caring about yourself. They'll immediately see that you're just caring about yourself and not anything else. As I said before, your goal is to gain trust. That will just eliminate the trust you have. Another thing is just giving up after the first objection. A first objection or just an objection in general doesn't mean they're not interested. Even if they say, I'm not interested, it just means I don't have enough information to be interested. And then there's no clear next step. You might get to the end of the pitch and you're both just sitting there, completely silent, reading the rooms. Vocal cues that signal interest versus exit. Engaged question. If they're engaged, they'll ask questions, slower pace, say, tell me more about this. Checking out, short answers, distracted cone, I'm busy. I actually was on a call with someone, a book call. In the middle of it, they said, oh, I got a call coming. I got to take this. I'll call you back. They never called me back. I followed up today and they're just not interested at all. What a weird term. Adapt in real time. If they're engaged, continue engaging with them and change into the book call or bail gracefully. If they are not interested and are checking out, be willing to end the call and take a loss. It's not even a loss, to be honest. It's data that you have for the next call. Every mistake means you're learning. In the same sense of every loss you get is a learning experience. Take that in daily life as well, not just cold calling. Here, we're on to the advanced techniques. Silence. Most reps fear dead air and fill it. Most salespeople always are talking and make sure there's no silence. After you ask a question, just stop talking. You say, what's your current ad situation like? Long silence before even they talk, and then once they talk, pause a second and be silent and then talk. It lets the prospect think and process and then commit. 3 to 5 seconds of silence is powerful. Advanced technique number 2. Actually, this might not be a fit if it reverses pressure. The prospect leans in when you pull out. Kind of just like girls. If you give them a ton of attention, then they won't want you. And if you don't give them attention, they will want you. It's kind of like when you like this girl, but she won't like you back, but then all these other girls are, not all these other, but there may be this one girl that likes you, and you don't want anything to do with her. The reason she keeps liking you and keep liking you more as you push her away is because of something like this. Use it sparingly. It must sound genuine. This is a powerful technique. Push and pull. Exactly. Show like you're interested and then push away. Show you're interested, push away. Psychologically, it will work. Preparation equals performance before you dial. You research your prospects, go to their LinkedIn, stalk them basically. You're going to become a professional stalk. Look at company news, find what's happening with the company. If a new owner just bought, congratulate them. If they're moving into a new location, say something about that. Know 3 pain points about their industry. Review past interaction. Any previous cold calls you have, record them. Watch those videos. You can see where your mistakes, and then you can think of what you could have done differently. Set daily goals. I'm a skier. I struggle with like mental stuff. The main thing is just like staying motivated throughout the season or just off season and training season. And I worked with this mental coach. She said to me is setting daily goals. Keep yourself motivated for your big main goals. So let's say your main big goal is to get $10,000 a month. That's like an outcome goal. For after that, you need the process goal, how you will get to your outcome goal. Let's say that is signing 7 clients and doing how you sign those 7 clients. That's also really an outcome goal. To get those 7 clients, I will cold call and review all of my cold calls. And then you keep going down and down throughout the stretch to see where you go. So daily goals, you can do something like call 50 businesses. Or it could also be get 1 book call or 3 book calls. Those are all like outcome goals. Or call 50 businesses is more of like a process goal. Another one you could do is just have 1 genuine conversation that you're happy with how it went. And like you handled the objections perfectly or almost perfectly, and you're just really happy how it went, even though it maybe not have ended up in a book call or a second book call. Also, mental resets between calls. Cold calling can be very taxing on your mental health or just how you are thinking. You could be calling all day, and you've called 50 places and not a single one showed interest. Bill, you gotta just take a break and reset. Maybe that means that you are done calling for the day, or it means that you just take like 5-10 minutes and scroll on your phone and then come back to it, or even it means switching to a different location where you're cold calling. All of those help. Objection handling and framework. Acknowledge, validate their concern. You find their concern, make sure you like understand that, or show them that you understand that that's their main concern. Is this the real issue? Is that really the issue what they're having? They say something about the pricing is too much. It might not actually be the pricing is too much. It might be something more on that they don't think the return on investment is good enough. Then you have to show them that the return on investment is good, that cost per lead is below $20. And then you just got to frame it correctly to show them that it's actually worth the return on investment. Water break again. Reframe them into a new perspective. So that's kind of what I'm saying with the putting into the different return on investment. This is an example. They say the price is too much. And then I say, all right, let me put this in the sense. The ad spend is going to be $1,000 and my fee will be another $1,000. So that'll be $2,000 per month. What's your highest ticket item that you want to get advertised? Let's say it's PPF. Ask them, how much is that going to cost? They say $1,400. Actually, for simple terms, let's say it's $2,000. Let's say I get you 1 book call per month. That already covers ad spend and my service fee. So all I have to do is get you 1 booking and it will cover both of that. So you're framing in the sense of the return on investment instead of, oh, it's too expensive. Advance and propose the next steps. So the next steps could be booking into your next call or next call, like the book call. Or it could be signing the agreement and then paying you or you starting the free trial. Here's some common objections and the responses I would say. Not interested. I totally understand. Can I ask you why are you interested or what specifically has made you not interested? And then another one could be send me info. I'll say happy to. What exactly do you want to know in that email? Or happy to make sure this is relevant, can I ask, let's say another question, what's your biggest pain point? Or we're all set. Good response is great to hear. Who are you working with and how's that going? Call back later, of course, is specific date/time better, and then it's basically a book call right there. And then you can schedule that and then send them a text or something like that. The gatekeeper strategy, be direct and respectful, because it's really their choice if you are going to talk to the owner or not. If you're rude to them, then they won't want to give you to the owner. I mean, I've seen some videos online about people being completely fucking rude to the receptionist and saying stuff like, give me to the fucking owner, I want to talk to the owner. If you don't give me to the fucking owner, I swear to God. And they're like, get all mad to them. And that will work, because they're like, what's wrong? This is definitely, I think, for the owner. So another way you can do it, be what I would suggest is being respectful, and is saying, is prospect available? Typically it's the owner. And then you say, it's River regarding marketing or something like that. Don't lie what you're doing. Don't say, oh, I'm getting a car detail or something. I typically say a business inquiry or a personal inquiry. And if they ask more, I typically say, I help businesses generate more revenue. Build rapport with the gatekeepers. They control the access. That's kind of what I was saying. You got to have a relationship with the gatekeeper, or be nice to them, and they will give you access to the next step. Metrics at work, dials per day, connect rate, conversion length, objections encountered, meetings booked, not just yes, no. You got to track the whole funnel. Call review process. Record calls if legal/permitted. Depends on where you're from. I think in most places in the US you can record calls. Listen to your tonality, pace, the questions asked, the dead air, what worked and what fell off, and then only adjust one thing per session. And then focus on that one thing the whole session. Make sure you incorporate it in every call you can. Improvement is instrumental, so it just slowly goes up. Mindset. Just like day trading, mindset is a huge part of cold calling. It's a big thing when I don't know how many of you have been in the trading or the trading industry, but mindset's the big thing. It's what separates the profitable from the unprofitable, or the unprofitable to the profitable. Rejection is data. It's not personal. It's not the end of the world that you got rejected. It just means what you can improve for next time. You're gonna die and be single for the rest of the life. No, it means that it's not gonna work right now. So it's just data and like what to improve for next. Celebrate small wins, like good conversations, not just the closes. Kind of what I was talking about earlier is like one of the goals you could have is just having a nice conversation where you did everything right, even though it didn't end in a put call. Take breaks. It's very stressful and like very taxing on your brain on how to cold call, or just cold calling in general. And also, 80% of sales happen after the fifth contact. Persistence wins. It's kind of like what I was saying about how I was calling this guy. It was my fourth call with this guy, third follow-up, and I booked the call with him after that. Just because you don't get it on the first call and follow up, or they ghost you, just keep following up and it will eventually get there. Role play exercise, instructions for live practice. As in the server, I know we've done this before. Just partner up with someone. A scenario, go through common objections, stuff like that. Easy ones, hard ones. Yeah, 2 minutes per call. You gotta switch up the roles. And then afterward, debrief what worked and what didn't work. You can also, I know we do this a lot here, get in a group and cold call. And you guys talk what worked and what didn't work, what suggestions you have. Here's the key takeaways. Master the first 10 seconds of the call. Those are the most important parts of the call. It determines if they will continue talking to you or will not continue talking to you. Listen more than you talk. The more information you have, the more you can persuade them to be on your side. Handle objections with curiosity, not defense. They say, oh, I'm not interested. I ask, why is that? Don't be all upfront and say, or if they say it's too expensive, say, oh, what makes it expensive? Is it's not enough value, or it's overpriced, or something like that? Don't say, oh, actually, this is pretty competitive compared to other agencies in the same niche. Track, review, iterate. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really have to explain more. The volume, your technique is what equal results. You got to do a lot and have good technique to show results.